Oh yeah, we working. I was listening to the Grand Arrivals, and the Devin Haney. See, this is probably why Bill don't be letting Devin talk too much, bro. Because Devin be getting robotic. And he lie when he should tell the truth. And he tell the truth when he should probably embellish and lie a little bit. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. Also Sunday mornings with KQKC at 9 a.m. Join the channel as a member. Drop super chats when you come by the live streams that we do. If you want to debate, the email address is knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Let's get it cracking though. So, during the Grand Arrivals, Devin Haney went on stage and he said, I was draining myself. I was depleting myself to make 135. I was depleting myself to make 140. And now I feel like myself. Now I'm finally able to do what I do in the gym when I was sparring. I was cutting weight and having to cut weight the whole time to make 135 and 140. Now, when people such as myself said this, y'all didn't like that shit. But what Devin Haney just admitted to, and by the way, hype up the video. I forgot to tell y'all that. YouTube got a new feature. You can scroll over where you leave a comment at, and you can hit that hype button. It really helps me out in the algorithm. It gets my videos more recommended on YouTube, and it allows people that are looking for boxing talk content to find the content. But let's get it cracking though. So, Devin Haney said all of this shit, right? And I'm listening. I'm like, why would you say that? Because you basically admitting that you didn't have no confidence to fight where you were supposed to be fighting your entire career. Because if you knew that you was depleting yourself, if you knew that you were fighting as a lesser version of yourself, why did you continue to do it? Now, Devin Haney fan will tell you, well, it's because he was looking for the big fights. Well, because during the time he was doing all this shit, Sean Porter was at 147. Earl Spence was at 147. Bud Crawford was at 147. Josh Taylor was an undisputed champion at 140 pounds. Danny Garcia was at 147. Keith Thurman was at 147. So it was big fights at 147 pounds. So miss me with the, oh, he was doing it because he was trying to have big fights. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Here's what the truth is. What I've been telling y'all. And what I'm going to continue to point out, because a lot of y'all are hypocritical and you don't think for yourself and you only see shit one way. What people do in boxing is you call the small guy who hit somebody with a catch weight, who hit somebody with a rehydration clause, you call him a coward for trying to make somebody fight him closer to his size, right? But the guy that depletes himself, that drains himself, so that come the night of the fight, he can have a size advantage. He can be bigger than the people that he's fighting. Y'all call that motherfucker a warrior, though. Make that shit make sense, bro. I always thought the term was, I don't know what y'all learned growing up, but my shit was always pick on somebody your own size. And what that always meant to us on the block and in the neighborhood was two things. Don't try to fight nobody that you see clearly don't want to fight you because they not confrontational like that. Pick on somebody your own size. But the other thing that meant, like, literally, is like, bro, you a sixth grader. What you trying to fight a third grader for? Bro, you in high school. What you picking on a middle schooler for? Bro, you in college. Why you hooping against little high school dudes? That meant pick on somebody your own age. Pick on somebody your own size. And throughout his career, Devin Haney, you can see it, that he's never done both. He's never fought people his age. He's never really fought people his size. And the one time he fought somebody his age and his size, we all saw what happened. And we all know this. We know that Regis was 35, Devin was about 24. About a decade difference. We know Linares was 35. Devin was about 23, 24. About a 10-year difference. We know Lomachenko was about 34, 35. Devin was about 24, 25. We know Regis was 34, 35. Devin was about 24, 25. And we know that Devin had a longer arm reach and was taller than all them people. Right? He's the definition of a bully. Now, I don't usually use the term weight bully because I do believe that once you make weight, you get it cracking. But what I'm not going to do is allow his bum-ass fan base to get out of this. I'm not going to allow his bum-ass to get out of this by acting like the truth ain't the truth. And the fact of the matter is, no matter how much y'all don't want to admit it, no matter how much y'all don't want to talk about it, he just admitted that he cut all that weight because he didn't want smoke with nobody his size. That he cut all that weight because he wanted an advantage. That's what that was. That's why somebody that walks around 165 to 170 kills himself to make 135. Kills himself to make 140. That's why somebody who was fighting at 135 for the majority of their career could only fathom and could only afford to make 140 2 times. And could only take 2 fights at the weight class up because they draining their goddamn self. You go look at photos and you look at videos of Devin Haney trying to make weight for the Regis Prograis fight, you will see that nigga use every towel in the goddamn hotel. Every single towel in the hotel that he was staying at, he had to put on top of him to get a sweat to make 140 pounds. He basically calling himself a weight bully. And what that shows me is a lack of confidence to fight people your size. Not only from yourself, but from your daddy who instructed you and runs your career and instructed you to do shit like that. Because if your daddy had the confidence in you to fight people your size, he'd have moved you how Brian Norman daddy moved him. If you had the confidence to fight people your size, you wouldn't be struggling to make weight. Hell, you wouldn't even be at 147. Because the big time fights around Devin right now is at 154. Real talk, if it was about being the best, if it was about the big fights, if it wasn't on some weight bully, let me find every advantage, let me milk everything I can possibly milk type shit, if that's what it was really about, if that's what it was truly about, then he'd have been moved up to 147 a long time ago when there was a bunch of big time fights over there. But he didn't. And the reason he didn't is because that boy looking for advantages. So my message is this, bro. If the guys that are trying to fight people and make sure that they're close to the same size the night of the fight, if those guys are soft, if those guys are frauds, if those guys are suckers, right? What are we calling the people that walk around 25 to 30 pounds heavier than their weight class, kill themselves to make weight because they want a size advantage the night of the fight? What do we call them? Guys like Devin Haney for the most part. I tell you what I'm not going to call them. I'm not calling him no goddamn warrior. I'm not calling him no goddamn dog. At all. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below. Smash a like. Sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.